Hello dear friends, and welcome to my channel. My name is Paulina, and if you're here for the first time here on my channel, I share with you my impressions about fragrances. In today's video I'm going to be talking about my recent purchase, Blind Buy, and about the note of Chrysanthemum. I'm going to start with my new purchase, and this is Johana by the house of Keiko Mecheri, an American brand, and the designer and creator of this brand is Keiko Mecheri, American designer with Japanese roots. I learned recently that this fragrance Johana is going to be discontinued, and I found it with a very good price. I'm interested in the fragrances with chrysanthemum note. I like the note of chrysanthemum. It has this special bitter touch, and I think chrysanthemum note is a very suitable fragrance note for the coming autumn and winter. Chrysanthemum is the flower of autumn. It has this typical bitter undertone. And I have two fragrances now with this note, and yeah, Johana. The notes listed here in this fragrance are very interesting. The top notes are chrysanthemum and galbanum. It gives to the fragrance a bitter touch. The middle notes are wisteria, cacao, rose and iris, and the base note incense, vanilla, patchouli and sandalwood. When I first spritz it on my hand, on my skin, the notes of chrysanthemum and galbanum are very predominant. This typical bitterness, herbal touch, but it's not overwhelming, it's not harsh, it's not suffocating. It has a very delicate bitterness. As it dries down, the powderiness of iris and creaminess of chocolate note become more prominent, and this is a very interesting combination between bitterness, bitter touch, and sweetness of chocolate, rose, iris, powderiness of iris. I can't really detect any incense. It gives to this fragrance maybe just a little bit more texture, but it's not typical incense that you can smell in a church. I don't detect any predominant woody notes. This is bitter floral fragrance for me. I was wearing this for a couple of last days, and I was just captured. I was in love with this combination of bitter touch of chrysanthemum and the creaminess and powderiness and sweetness of rose, chocolate, iris. This is just irresistible combination, and I think this is a fragrance that you can wear very easily. It doesn't require a special mood or special image. It's just very comforting, cozy fragrance that keeps you warm, and well, this fragrance has a little bit melancholic touch in it. Well, because chrysanthemum is the flower of autumn, it has this bitter touch, and it transmits a signal of, you know, being, looking inside, being melancholic, thinking about the past, looking back, you know, very meditative mood, which is actually very good and very typical for autumn, because the events of summer are in the past, and autumn often transmits this mood of melancholia because of the weather. It is rainy, it is cold. The sunny days are not so often anymore. I think this fragrance Johana is the perfect companion for autumn days, for colder days, for meditative mood. I think this is a perfect scent for the office as well. It is office friendly, it's not overwhelming, it's not suffocating. It has a very delicate, elegant fragrance, feminine fragrance, and well, I'm just in love with this one. This fragrance captured my senses. Another fragrance that also has chrysanthemum and galbanum in the notes is Private Collection by Estee Lauder. This is a fragrance that was created in 1973, and besides galbanum and chrysanthemum, there are many notes listed here, which is typical for the perfumery of the past days. I wouldn't say that the Private Collection has a retro touch. For me, it's not a retro fragrance. It is, for me, it is quite contemporary, modern scent. When I spritz this on my hand, the opening is quite harsh, and one spray is more than enough. Whereas here you can bath in this fragrance in Johana, although the longevity is not particularly long-lasting. Whereas here the longevity is just astonishing, amazing. But one spray is enough. Otherwise you can suffocate everything that surrounds you. Galbanum, chrysanthemum, quite harsh, bitter opening. When it dries down, the fragrance has this typical green notes, herbal touch. For me, this is a fragrance that requires a special mood, a special image. So it is a fragrance for business occasions for me, for office hours. I can't wear it often, but I love this one is for the autumn, for the colder days as well. Actually, this fragrance is wearable for me only for October till November, early December. After that, I'm kind of tired of this one anymore. I have this many years, so I use not really much of this one. Whereas Johana, I think is going to be my favorite one. And I think this one is easier to wear, is more wearable, if you can say like this. Whereas this one requires something special, so you can't put a comforting, nice sweatshirt and enjoy like a free day. So this requires a formal suit or dress. But the longevity is astonishing. It isn't very expensive fragrance. You can find it with a very good price. Whereas the perfumery of Keiko Mecheri, well, this is niche fragrances, they are quite expensive. Because this one is discontinued, I found it on sale with a huge discount, so I'm quite happy to have this one. So my two fragrances with a note of chrysanthemum, very typical for autumn, for colder days. Chrysanthemum is for me, this is a companion for autumn, for windy days. And I'm going to enjoy these two fragrances in my next perfume rotation. If you also prefer fragrances with a chrysanthemum and galbanum note in them, please share with me your thoughts about them. I'm sure there are many more fragrances that contain this note. I have only 2 of them, and I think for now it is just enough for me. Thank you very much for your attention. Please support this video with your likes and comments, and see you soon in the next one. Bye bye!